Hey, what's up guys? It's Joe here. I make tech interview videos for YouTube, and today's problem is reverse linked list on Leetcode. Alright guys, so here it is, reverse linked list. Reverse a singly linked list. So this is probably one of the hardest problems on Leetcode. Don't let this tag fool you. Many of interviews have gone awry because of this interview question right here. But I will be teaching you guys how to do this question iteratively and recursively. So we can just jump right into it. So you can see here, here's the input and here's the output. So we can see that the output is going to have 5 as its head. So if we implement this recursively, we essentially just want to keep returning back this 5 in our recursive function. So that way we can, get that reference back after, this API is called. So you essentially would just recurse down to the 5th node here. And once you get to 5 and you see that node.next is going to be null, we essentially can just return this 5 every time. And after this base case of returning the 5 is done, we'll be at like say 4. And in 4 we can say, to actually reverse the list, we can say at 4.next, which is going to be this 5, make this 5's pointer point towards 4, to whatever the node we're at. And we just do this step every single time. So 3, we say that 3.next.next, which is this, make it point towards 3. And also we have to remember to remove this 3.next, make that null, so that way we don't have cycles. So I will show you the implementation for that. So here it is. So if the head is equal to null, so and head.next is equal to null, then just return head. And this beginning part here, head is equal to null, this will just safeguard against the entire list being empty. And this one will be for our base case for when we get to 5 here. Let's say reversed head will be reverse list, and this will be the actual recursive part, head.next. So we'll just keep returning back the head, so we'll get this 5 every time. And then here we'll say head.next.next is going to be equal to the head. So essentially, we're at 4, 4.next.next, this pointer, make it point to 4. And then we say head.next equal to null. So just say, we're at 4, get rid of this pointer here so there's no cycles. And then we just return back the reversed head. And this should be a list node here. And this solution should be O of n time n space, because we have the recursive stack that we're using every time. And for the iterative approach, I'll go ahead and just go through an example here. Okay, so here we can see that what we'll do is we'll set up 3 nodes where we have current, next, and previous. And previous will essentially just be the previous node, current will be the current node that we're at, and next will be the next node after the current. And here we'll be doing this inside of a while loop, and we'll just say that the current.next, so essentially that, we'll just reverse it and make it point towards the previous node. After we do that, we want to move over the previous node to whatever the current node is and just set up the next current over just like that. And that's the reason why we're keeping the reference for the next, because once we remove this pointer to the next node, we won't be able to get to it. So that's why we're keeping this next node here. And in the next iteration around, we set up this next so we make sure we can get to it. Get rid of the pointer to 3 here and just point back towards the previous. After that, we remove P and move it up to C, to the current, and then remove current and move it up to the next. And as you can see, we're slowly but surely reversing this. And we just do this all the way up until we get to this case where current is null and P is now pointing towards 5, it's at the head, and we'll just return back the previous. And here we'll just safeguard against the the list being absolutely null. And here we'll set up our previous, which will start at null, and we'll set up our current. And here we'll say that while current is not equal to null, we'll just go ahead and grab our next, which will be current.next, as we said in the example. And we'll have current.next, just make it point over towards the previous, then make the previous go towards move over towards the current, and then take current and move it over towards next. And then after all of this, we'll just be saying return previous, which would be the head in this case, or in essentially this implementation. And this should be list node. So yeah, not too bad, guys. It does screw up a lot of people. This problem, I've heard many of my friends getting screwed up in interviews because of it. It's easy, but it can be pretty hard. So let me know if you guys want more stuff like this. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.